Back when I was a kid, the little country town I lived in had one hard rule: never set foot in the bamboo forest. No one would tell me why, not even my parents. And you know how kids are. The more you're told no, the more you want to do it. So one summer break in fourth grade, my best friends, Caden, Kobe, and Arthur, and I decided to sneak in. The forest sat not far from our school, wrapped in a high fence. The road beside it was always empty, so we figured no one would see us climb over. We stashed our bikes a short distance away, then followed Caden, the ringleader, up and over the fence. Inside, the air felt almost chilly for midsummer, and it was unbelievably refreshing. Kobe had brought a camera and kept snapping photos. Sunbeams filtered between the tall bamboo stalks, turning the place into something right out of the tale of Princess Kaguya. After a while, Arthur shouted, "Hey, look at that!" I followed his gaze and saw a small building tucked between the trunks. "Let's check it out," Arthur said. "What if somebody's inside?" I said. "No way. It's probably abandoned." We crept closer. Sure enough, the place was a wreck, an old two-story wooden house. The entrance door was half broken and hanging open. Caden said, "Looks like we can get in," and slipped through the gap. Hey, maybe we shouldn't." Kobe and I tried to stop him, but Arthur slipped in right after. Kobe sighed. "Those two aren't scared of anything." I agreed, but more than getting in trouble, I just had a bad feeling about the whole place. Like we really shouldn't stick around. It's hard to explain, but the uneasiness crawled all over me. I'm not sure how long they were gone. Eventually, Caden and Arthur came out without saying a word. "Welcome back. How was it?" I asked. Caden, drenched in sweat, wiped his forehead with his t-shirt and muttered, "Let's go home." Arthur just kept nodding, silent. Maybe it was my imagination, but both of them looked awfully pale. After that, Kobe and I barely spoke. We just tore down the road on our bikes and went straight home. The next day, Kobe called and told me to come over. "The other two were acting weird, weren't they?" he said the moment I stepped into his room. "Yeah, my guess is they saw something inside that house." Kobe told me he'd phoned Caden and Arthur last night, but both of them were too tired and had already fallen asleep. "This morning I called again," he went on. "Now they both have high fevers and can't get out of bed. Both of them at the same time. That's not normal. Something's up." I knew what he was thinking. Whatever's in that building hit them with a curse or something. When I got back from Kobe's place, Grandpa happened to be visiting our house. He's lived in this town his whole life, so he might know something about that bamboo forest. I kept quiet about sneaking in and casually asked him about it. "Oh, that place," he said. "We always told kids to stay out because a lot of kidnappings used to happen there. Nobody passes by, and after dark it's pitch black. No street lights. The bamboo's so thick you can't see a thing. Perfect spot for shady types, so we warned the kids." So that was all it was? I'd been scaring myself with talk of curses, but it sounded like a simple safety warning. "So it's not haunted or anything?" I laughed. Grandpa's expression turned deadly serious. "Kidnappings were just the official excuse. There's another reason you must never go in." Here's the story he told me. Years ago, a house stood in the very center of that bamboo forest. A married couple lived there, friendly with everyone. Then one day, the wife miscarried. The shock unhinged her. She started attacking the neighbors, screaming, "You killed my baby." Before long, The husband took his own life. The wife wandered the forest alone for a while, until her body was found drowned in the nearby river. After that, children who played near the forest began to disappear, one after another. Most were never found, but eventually, one missing boy turned up inside the couple's now abandoned house. His hair had gone snow white, and he was incapable of speech. Over time, he managed to whisper what had happened. The woman from that house, the one who died, she's still here. She's taking kids and eating them. Nobody believed him, of course, until they saw the fresh bite marks all over his body. Grandpa continued. That's when they put a fence around the bamboo forest so no one could go in. Even now, they still bring in a high-ranking priest every so often to purify the place. But I doubt it'll ever do any good. Wow, so that's what really happened. I suddenly regretted strolling into that forest so casually. Caden and Arthur got sick afterward, and the fact that all four of us made it back at all already felt like a miracle. What Grandpa said next wiped out what little relief I had left. They tore the couple's house down as soon as they found the child's body. There's no house there now, but the couple's grudge is probably still hanging around. And torn down? No house anymore? Grandpa, was there any other building out there besides the couple's place? None. I went in once. Only their house stood there. Then what did we see that day? A few days later, Kobe phoned. Can you come over? There's something I want you to look at. When I got to his place, he dropped a thick stack of photos on the table. What are these? The shots I took in the bamboo forest. I'd forgotten he'd even had his camera that day. I wasn't sure I should get them developed, but I flipped through them one by one. Most were gorgeous, shafts of sunlight cutting through green stalks, until something made my blood run cold. Wait, were these things really there? Between the bamboo, dozens of tiny childlike faces were peeking out. I thought it had to be a trick of the light, but Kobe said those faces only surfaced a while after the film was developed. I told him everything Grandpa had revealed. When Kobe learned the house we'd seen had been demolished years ago, he was speechless. Come to think of it, he muttered, nobody ever said there was a building inside that forest. He fell silent, clearly thinking hard. You're not planning to go back there alone, are you? He gave a nervous laugh that told me I'd hit the mark. Summer vacation, both endless and far too short, finally ended. I'd worried about Caden and Arthur, but they showed up healthy enough. Oddly, neither of them remembered anything about entering the forest. No point forcing the memories back. Then I noticed Kobe's seat was empty. Hey, is Kobe out today? I asked. Caden shrugged. No idea. He didn't say anything. Arthur joked. Maybe he forgot summer break's over. A chill ran down my spine. Kobe and I had talked on the phone every day since the incident. Just last night, he'd said, "See you at school tomorrow." If he were sick, he would have called, and the school hadn't heard from his family either. After classes, we decided to head to Kobe's house. No matter how many times we rang Kobe's doorbell, nobody answered. Hello, anyone home? Arthur started pounding on the door. That was when the neighbor's door creaked open. They've moved out. No one lives there anymore, a woman in her 40s told us, clearly annoyed. Moved out? What do you mean? A couple of days ago, I think. A moving truck showed up out of nowhere. and the whole family left like they were running for their lives. Rumor is the boy got really sick. She added that someone had seen Kobe's mother lift his limp body into a taxi. This can't be happening. We looked at one another in shock. I'd talked to him on the phone just last night. We were supposed to meet at school today. The school, of course, kicked up a fuss about the family's sudden disappearance, but the principal somehow settled everything by declaring that Kobe had transferred to another school. For a while, the class buzzed with wild stories, yet by the time winter break arrived, nobody mentioned him anymore. After that, nothing else happened. Caden and Arthur still remembered nothing about the bamboo forest, and I had no urge to make them recall it. Above all, Kobe's vanishing act didn't feel like coincidence, and I wanted the forest out of my mind for good. Years passed. I moved away, started working, tried to live a normal life. The bamboo forest never really left me, but if I'm honest, nothing truly horrific had touched me. We'd found a house that shouldn't exist. Caden and Arthur collapsed, and Kobe snapped a few ghost photos. That was it. The more I thought about it, the more foolish I felt for swallowing Grandpa's stories whole. Then, one day, a rare package arrived from my mother. Forwarded from Kobe, her note read. Kobe? My hands shook. Inside the parcel lay a plain brown envelope. The sender line said only Kobe, no address. I opened it with trembling fingers. Several photographs and a single sheet of paper slid out. Every picture showed that impossible house in the bamboo forest. 4 exterior shots from different angles and several interior shots. So Kobe had gone back there alone. Why would he send these now? The interior photos were the stuff of nightmares. Countless small children, their bodies as though chunks had been bitten away, obviously not living beings. In the last picture, a soaking wet woman, blood smeared around her mouth, staring straight into the lens. The letter said, ever since we stepped into that house, I've been having the same dream. A woman eating me alive. I'm still trapped in it night after night, and I'm sure I'll be seeing it for the rest of my life. Don't ever go back to that bamboo forest, neither you nor Caden and Arthur. I'm convinced the only reason those two survived is because they never saw the woman. All they encountered was the child spirit. That's what I feel in my bones. I met the woman's gaze, and that was the end of me. That was the last letter I ever got from Kobe. I still keep in touch with Caden and Arthur, but we never bring up the forest or Kobe. We just steer clear of the whole subject. As for the bamboo forest itself, it's now a brand new housing development. Whether the curse is still there, I have no way of knowing anymore.